getting so emotional about transforming lives. Denise and I have been working with the family, and they're all losing weight. It's only been 9 days, and the father, who happens to be a physician, lost 15 pounds. And their son just took a picture, and he's only been doing it also for about 9 days, maybe 11. Started a little, I mean, you could just see his body. And he told his mom, can we keep eating like this? Just wanted to share. So the whole family is getting healthy. There's, I think there's 6 of them.
That's amazing, Jacob. I mean, Suzanne. I love that. And, actually it was funny. I was actually talking to Denise about you yesterday, just about like how great you are, consistent you are, and like, recently going executive director. And those are the kind of things that come from consistency, like that strong business, but like also like you get to like see like, oh my gosh, I see what you guys are talking about now. This is what creates breakthrough in people's lives. Like, how cool has this been for you? Like, I mean, these are just one of your, just one family of all your clients, but how cool has that been for you?
Amazing. And it's like you really don't, just like fat burn, you just can't really explain it until it happens to you. And I am helping other people and seeing their transformation. And when I hear them get it, like, this is the best program around, I have energy, all the things we say. And December has been the sowing, and the harvest is going to be good.
Yep, it's really good. All right, you
guys.
These
calls, Brad, these calls are awesome.
Well, because you're consistent, Suzanne. I love it. All right, we're going to jump in here. Fair warning. Okay, we're recording. Open up your chat as I'm getting the screen set up. Text over to anyone who's not on that should be on. They're not going to want to miss this. Fair warning, and I already put it in the group. I've had like 3 cups of coffee, worked out. I saw Santa last night. Like, I hope you guys are on my level, because you guys have no idea what's about to come from this season, and I'm just going to like go at it. So get on my level, because we're getting ready. So as we get ready here, drop in the chat. Where's everyone tuning in from? Like, oh my gosh, are you serious? 65 people like on December? Like, hold on. As I'm getting this, Dawn, do you remember the times when like it was like, oh, we couldn't, like we barely made it through December's because everyone was going off their diets and like coaches were nowhere to be found? Like, so glad we are Optavia now and like not a diet company.
Totally. I remember when December used to be a little bit of like chaos. I'm like, wait, what's going on? And now it's amazing. December's been on fire so far. Yeah, seriously. So, all right, I'm going to hop in here. Also, get your notepads, get your maps ready. This is what this call is all about. This is a bonus training on last month's Coffee and Consistency. That was our 3rd one that we've done. We basically just go over the basics of what it means to be a great health coach. It's for the coaches that want to grow. Every single time we pop a new executive directors, people reach the 10,000 mark, which is basically just a mark that proves that you're really good at what you're doing, growing coaches, growing everything. And like always, it's like the next month is even the better month, because it's when the consistency shows up. For those that don't know, I'm a huge stat fan, and every single time the stats prove out, and my messenger's blowing up and I can't seem to get it to stop. Is that me beeping, Dawn? Like, do you hear it? Okay, cool. That means you guys can't hear it. That's good. I'll just keep hearing the dinging in my head. So apparently December, no one's slowing down in December, because it's like beeping at me like every 5 seconds. So open up the chat. If you have questions, we're going to have time to answer them today. We're going to have Tim and Kelly and Ashley, if she wrangled the kids well. Dawn dropping some really good knowledge bombs on what to be doing this time of year, and some good insights, some good tax stuff, all the great things that you want to know. And we already got some people asking good questions that we've already kind of made sure we'll cover. But if you've got questions, make sure you put them in the chat. We will answer them, or even just pop off mute. We're all family here. It's all good. So this is our bonus training to we just asked people, Dawn, on the last call, we're like, does anyone want something? And there was like a resounding yes. So we're going to cover just some things to be doing right now to take care of your month, to be working your month, to be setting up the new year. Because in case you haven't noticed, December's a little bit different of a month. I really honestly highly encourage you guys to rest this month. That doesn't mean disappear. It means like pour into yourself, get your structure set, dream. A lot of you guys have businesses that you never thought possible. A lot of you guys never thought you'd be coaches on this call, and you guys are now running very successful businesses. What's possible this year if you guys really envision that next step? We're going to go a little bit over that today.
But I really encourage, like I had a conversation with Annie Antonio last year, and Annie's this incredible artist and has this incredible just visual brain. And I was like, Annie, this is the time of year where you start to like dream, like basically the whole New Year's your canvas. What artwork are you going to create? Because those that don't know, if you walk into Annie's house to the left-hand side, she created an entire mural. She is amazingly talented. So I digress. My point is, this is the time to start visualizing, get tapped in, get creative. You get to be the own boss of your life, your business, your structure, revolving life around matters most. Do that this month and stay solid on your business. I'm not trying to pump you guys up. Like, this could be one of your best months. It might just be a solid month. Some of you might be down slightly, but November, everyone thinks December is going to be like or a lot of people that are experienced thinks it's like a bad month, but honestly, it's just steady. If you're solid, your month will be solid. That's hands down. And we're going to go over a few things so you can really take advantage on the back half of this month, through this month, and really laying the foundation, because I'm not even really caring about December or January. I'm going to ask you guys, where are you guys going to be at come March, April? And I'm going to show you guys some of that here in a second. So as we jump in here, I can't see everyone. Actually, here, I'm just going to show this slide right here because this is what it's all about. 90 people on a call on a Saturday. You guys rock. You guys want to know why I'm so excited? Because you have no idea what happens when this many people stay consistent and band together. Like, you have no idea. Like, Suzanne, you talking about that life change, that family changing. That's what happens when people stay consistent this time of year. I feel like we're like getting ready to like change the world, because we are. Anyway, sorry, told you guys, like, drink some coffee, catch up with me. Who here, drop me a 1 in the chat if you guys were qualified and attended the Intentionality Summit last weekend. It was incredible. Congratulations on everyone that was there. Congratulations to everyone on this call just for an awesome November and everything I was just talking about. But if anyone wants to come off real quick, that was probably the most powerful event I've ever been to. Did anyone, just before we get into today, did anyone have any takeaways from that weekend, or just an experience they want to share before we hop into today? Anyone that was there that weekend, go ahead and pop off mute. I didn't prep anyone for this.
I'll go, Brad. It was the most incredible training that I may have ever been involved with, and I'm just so grateful. But I got to tell you, the biggest thing I came away with is that, this is and we hear it over and over again, but this is such a gift. What we have to share with people and what we have in our hands, to be bold, because, there is something for everyone, and the things that change life, health, finances, families, it just careers. People are able to be passionate about having a purpose. And when we get a little bit lax in that, or we start to let the other voices come in and talk about, the what ifs, or, like we all have those people, that defriend us or whatever. Don't let that distract you, and focus on what you want to create, because this is a vehicle to help you create what you want. We've all had amazing health changes. Why don't we want to share that boldly? And I have to say, it really, really convicted me that even at this level, I am not living to my full potential and sharing this and getting it out into the world. So that's what I came away with.
That's a good takeaway, Kelly. And I know you're going to be sharing some information on how people can do that, like tangible things at the end of this call. Thank you for sharing. Let's do one more. Anyone from there? You guys might be thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to share. There is so much. But if there is any one powerful takeaway that you got from it, go ahead and pop off mute for anyone that was there last weekend.
Hi.
Go for it, Lisa. Hey, Lisa, that was your first event too. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I didn't even know if I was going to qualify, and I know everybody kept saying you will, and just kept doing what you said, Brad. Just keep focusing and just being consistent, and not thinking about so much about that particular event, but just in helping lives. And because of that, I was able to attend. And the thing that I came away with most was, number one, the integrity of the company. Even though they were teaching us about compensation, they had those buckets. We all know the ones that went, we had all these buckets saying, where your percentages are. But Terry stopped and said, every bucket, this is not just about money. Every big bucket has people's lives in there, and that's the lives you are changing. That meant so much to me, and just the ability of being able to stand up with others and saying, who has been 2 years or less in this company, and still know that everybody was changing so many lives and also making an income to set us free to make more lives. And to see that it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't just one or two people standing. It was like 80% of the people that were there. And all the nuggets that you and others have shared with us, it was absolutely life-changing. I came home so pumped and just excited to share with my coaches and with the people that have signed on. And it literally has transformed my life. The love in this community is unlike anything I've seen. And I'm just grateful that I was a part of it.
Oh man, Lisa, it was a pleasure to get to meet you and Carlos in person. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, for everyone that's where their business was at. It was that powerful. I'm not even talking anymore, Lisa, because you put it into better words than I ever could. So congratulations on that being your first event. And it was truly amazing. It was cool to see collectively the energy in the room. And I think for me, I want to butcher what Lisa said by saying anything after it, but just, I guess for me, for being involved in this almost a decade, I could name a million things that was powerful for me that weekend, but I think the hands down the most powerful was just the energy of the room, because you can't change, because it's not hype. It's just real people doing the do, living their life on purpose, revolving life around matters most, making a big difference. So it's the real deal, as Janet likes to say. So congratulations to everyone. 10. Thanks for sharing that. Lisa and Kelly, it was a powerful weekend, and heads up, it was so successful that almost guarantee we'll do it next year. So can't wait to have you guys there. We just got to find a big enough venue. So let's jump into it today. We talked about, I showed you guys a slide above there where the guys staying consistent. You guys are all here. We're 100 plus people on, oh my gosh, in December. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. This is Dan Valentine's slide. We talked about it in August when we did one of our other coffee inconsistencies, and very cool. You guys know what I'm talking about here. Seeds that you planted back then really look like this. Maybe you guys were learning your consistency, so maybe it kind of looked like, oh, in October we got a little bit more emotional or didn't stay as consistent or, blah, 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 blah. But if you stay consistent, really, that's what's happening right now. Like people by the way, new Optavia Connect. So cool. Like it just ticker updates. Like this person started a client. This person started a client. This one started health coaching. Like, we are not slowing down because of what happened right here. Like, oh my gosh, I think that's the coolest thing about the new Optavia Connect. I haven't spent much time in there. I'm gonna get that into a second, but like the fact that was all there. So we are coming up on that January part. So I'm gonna get into some cool things that kind of like will lay out some tax information, some like layout to be focusing on this year before Tim and Kelly. We're just going to have an unplugged day of this stuff. So again, if you have questions, actually, Don, will you mind the chat for me and just go ahead and pop in and either answer or in typing or just popping on here and sharing, like if I miss it. We're going to have just an unplugged day for this stuff. So the first thing I wanted to update you was Optavia Connect. And no, we're not going to have a training, because if you watched my live, if you're in Optavia Connect, what are you doing? There's no people in there except for the people that are already getting healthy. Like there's nothing you can do in there, like especially because they're ironing out a little bit of the last details. So get out of Optavia Connect. There's nothing there you can do. But I just want to go over like some just quick basic things that have been like a big question mark for a bunch of people, just so we can move on like for the things that matter most right now. But before I even do that, congrats to all of you guys. An IT switch is not easy, like any company. Like Kelly, you've spent years in the corporate world. Like it's not easy, and it's honestly can obliterate companies. I've heard like no complaining from you guys. Like everyone is just so stellar. I just want to say congratulations. It really speaks to how amazing this group of people is. And an IT switch isn't easy, and still everyone's just playing above the line, helping each other out. It's amazing. So here's all the information, all you really need to know right now. Log in if you haven't. You have to log in. It's not your ID number anymore. It's your email address for the user account, and you got to update your password. I recommend welcome one with an exclamation point, because that's how we start our clients with their client account. Optavia Pay, just log into it to the very bottom of the screen. And you can do it that way, and then just set it all up so you get paid. Like that's the two things I would really recommend that we recommended like a week ago. Client passwords, just a reminder. Don't forget that your clients need to update their password. So you might get some questions from them like, oh, hey, how come I can't log in? It's because they need to reset their password. They got an email. They got 2 emails about it. So if you have anyone that's like that, or a new client that you need to help them update their B-Slim order for the first time, just remember that they need to change their password login. Just gee-whiz information. Websites. Your old website forwards on to your new website, but your website name is your website name. support.optavia.com. Got a few of those questions. So super easy, super simple. 7 and 4 day notice. I know a few of you guys got some weird emails. There was some like confusion, just in there. From my understanding, that's like pretty much all fixed. And I think it's all fixed, but I don't want to say it's all fixed. If it's not all fixed, it's pretty much all fixed from what I heard from Jesse. So just ironing out of figuring out, like getting the practice of the systems down. So those are the 7 and 4 day notices for our clients. They basically, it either just like there was empty boxes in there, or it just didn't make sense. There was just some like a little bit of information in there. So that should be all fixed and operating. But by the way, like I'm loving the actual like good layout of it now. It's like pretty looking and not like old school like computer text. Like so cool. And then Be Slim reports. A lot of people were like, oh, I didn't fill out my map on the last day of the month like we recommended you do, because we're going to have a whole new Optavia Connect. If you go into, you can take a screenshot or watch this. If you go into client support, projected premier orders, and then click on then you hover over the area of like across the top there. I was going to do this, but I just don't want to like take the time to do it. But basically, under search, if you click on the tab that says Business Coach ID, you can change the second tab to your ID number. And that's the way to check your personal Be Slims only. Like, so in case you need to know that for right now, like just connect with your support team. It's a really easy way of doing that. That's pretty much it. Anything else, ask your support team or check Optavia Answers. Like they have got everything covered and they're fixing everything like as quickly as they figure out there's an issue with it. So Don, Kelly, any like people that are caught up on this? I know Michael Lannon's been doing a lot of work. Anything else that we should add in here you guys think of?
No, I think it's great. I'm sorry, Don, go ahead. Yeah,
nope,
I think it's great. It looks beautiful. It's very classy. It's very intuitive once you just settle into like, what are you looking for? And that's the thing is just, we don't want to spend a lot of time in there. We only need a little bit of the information right now at this time of the month. So, but it's very intuitive, a little bit of time each day, maybe just for the next thing. But man, it's really, really good. And there's so much in there that's easy to find now.
Exactly. So long story short, there'll be better training on it. We'll get all caught up on it. Like when it's like last things are ironed out, but get out of there. Like if you're trying to like play around with it, like a few people have called me up and they've been like, hey, how do you do this? I'm like, I don't know, because it doesn't matter. Like I'm worried about connections right now, which is what we're going to get into. So got some information for you guys. I get a lot of these questions this time of year, and also just people like aren't asking these questions, but they should know these questions. So how to work your December, important dates, mindsets, and setting up your new year well. I'm going to cover just some things of like what's possible, and also just some good tax information and good business information real quick. I'm going to fly through it because Tim, Kelly, Ashley, Don have some great tips on what to be doing now to set up your new year. So first thing is tax information. Who here likes to be smart with your money? All right, cool. All right, me too. Who likes being a CEO of their own life? Right here. All right, cool. Make your money work for you, my friends. Like, I want to share something with you guys. I just want to be like, again, this is unplugged. Hope you like it. If not, holler at me later. I'll adjust it. But I'm sorry, not sorry for just being bold on this. We get paid really well, and it's really good to be a business owner. I wish I would have done this for the last couple of years, but I didn't. But I was so like, when you understand how owning your own business works and tax write-offs and smart money works, I got so nerded out on this in 2014. So like just a quick idea of just like, so why it's important to take care of your money. In 2014, Ashley and I made over $300,000. Do you know what the tax bracket is for people that make that kind of money? It's like 30,000, or it's like 30% or 33%. Because of tax write-offs, and we all don't have very high operating costs, because you can take advantage of so many tax write-offs. Ashley and I paid 12% on that income that we got. That is incredible. I have a great accountant. A lot of you guys know who Wes is. Like, he's our financial advisor. Get connected with a good CPA to take care of your taxes, understand what we do, reach out to your support team for references. Basically, long story short, if you're having dinner with your spouse and talking business, if you're having dinner with a client or a coach or blah, 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 if you almost anything we do, you can document and save receipts and do what you need to do to write it off. Like, did you know, you can take trips? If you're talking business, which I'm pretty sure we all do, heck, we went to the North Pole on our business expense last night. Cause you know what, Ashley and I talked about some cool things for the new year last night. These are things that we're talking about. A lot of you guys don't realize. So if you're new to this, cause a lot of you guys are going to make more money than what you really thought possible this year. A lot of you guys are sitting here like, holy cow, how am I even doing this well already? I'm not going to get into it. Basically, if you focus on people, it's pretty easy to do.
But I just want you guys to know this. Get connected with your CPA. Get your stuff set up at the start of this year so you can keep more of your money. And here's just a general overview. I'm not a financial advisor. You need to talk with your own CPA. But these are the basic things that I would recommend generically, that we did this when we got started, and this was very helpful for you. Is one, set up Optavia Pay. And just forward that all into another account that you have. So you should have a business checking account out of your personal. Ashley and I have done it the same way for the last 8 years. We have a business checking, so all of our income funnels into that. We don't intermingle. We don't have other deposits when we were working other jobs, intermingle with that, because it gets very messy. Like, well, it's easy to take care of, but it's just like, why mess that up? So have one separate checking account where all of your Optavia Pay goes. So it's nice and clean. Then you can pay yourself out of those accounts. Like you can transfer to your other accounts or whatever, but then it's nice and clean. I don't want to hear any flack from you Dave Ramsey people, but I want to say it's really smart to get a business credit card. And for all you new people, it's not because you need to put things on a credit card, but it's like, if you're going to spend the money anyways, you might as well earn miles. I don't want to see anyone pay for a flight to any of our events this year. You should be flying for free. Ashley and I fly to our events for free because we rack up points for spending, and it's all organized on our business credit card. And then we pay it off at the end of the month with what's already in there. Like again, and I'm not even going to say into it, like, hopefully you guys are operating with healthy finances on a budget. Ashley and I make it a goal to live on half of what we make. Just different things like that, so that we can be smart with our money and do more things like that. These are just generic things. If you want more information on this, contact your CPA or holler at me. I love talking healthy finances. I think it's one of the coolest things we do. Like, do you know how many people, like guys, like, I was getting really passionate about this, like, their health comes down to stress from finances. Did you know that we have a divorce rate of over 50% in this country, and the number one reason is like arguing over finances? Like, I love being able to help people take care of this. So this is general overview. Holler at me if you want more information on this, or go talk to your CPA for more particular guidance. Not all CPAs are created equal. I heard a CPA say that someone couldn't write off their cell phone, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah. So make sure you have a good CPA that takes advantage of all your tax write-offs, like internet at home, workspace out of the home, your cars, traveling, like all those things. Like, that's so much money that you can be writing off. So make sure you're taking advantage of it. All right, back to this deal, switching gears. Again, I told you I had coffee, so like, hopefully you're keeping up with me. We already talked about this. This is Dan's slide. He created this. Oh yeah, Don, gym memberships. Again, back to like confirming your account. Wes said 100%. Wes is our financial advisor. He's like 100% gym membership. And I had to like kind of like go back and forth with my CPA about it. So like, make sure you're taking advantage of everything possible. Anyways, so back to this. We talked about this already, and I made a new one because we already talked about, if we just stay in connection, our 3, 3, and 3, messaging people, like what adds up. Like, you guys saw it, like what Dan went over in his slide, the one I just did previously. So I want you guys to start thinking fresh on this, like December, January, February, March. This is important, but there's also other things in play than just normal connections that we know work at any given time. I want you guys to think about this real quick. And I'm going to go over some dates here in a second. Then Kelly, Tim, and then Ashley and Don are going to drop some like really good information on things you can be doing now. December, again, we talked about December being solid if you're solid. The number one thing I'd recommend right now, and I'll get to this in a slide, is if you're supporting your clients, this is the time to like find out what they want. I go to my clients every December and I say, where do you want to be January 31st? And then I partner with them on their health. It makes it easy to support them. I want to see how well they'll do and what options they have, and realizing it's not 5 and 1 or nothing, or encouraging them on 5 and 1 if there's no reason for them to stop for their goal or whatever the case may be. I make it easy on myself. This is a time to create partnership. This is a time to like create your brand. Like, I'm going to go over this in the next slide. Do you know most people decide what they're going to do in the new year if they're thinking any kind of diet format? They decide by December 13th what they're doing. Are they thinking about you? So like, December is a huge month not to take off for those reasons, but you also get to rest a little bit in it too. If you're doing it right, you should be kicking back and enjoying the family at this time, staying solid in the steps that need to be there. Layering coaching right now. Like, Don will get into this later, but how many people are feeling the pinch of not having extra finances or extra resources or other options? Like, December is the end of the year where most people like have the most expenses going out. and it's the one they're least prepared for. So how many people will have that like, oh my gosh, this is my like, I gotta stop doing this kind of setup. So be present in December, invest in relationships. You're gonna be at holiday gatherings. Like it's a foundational month. Then January. So here's how it goes. January is easy. Re-engaging clients, re-engaging past clients. We'll get into some training on that like as we start off the new year. Like coaches coming on. I'll go over that later. We're gonna have the Elevate event. Like it's easy picking at this time. Not to mention just follow up at this time is easy. Like you get to talk about what everyone else is talking about. So if you're present this time, your January will be huge. But I also want to let you guys know, there's a lot of people that don't wake up in January. They're like, oh yeah, I mean to do something. And they're not even getting in the group. Or they're like, oh, I'm not going to do that thing. I'm going to go to the gym because working out's totally the way to get healthy. Like, and they're not changing any habits. So that's why like January, don't go to the gym, like work out at home. The gyms are full. Or actually go there and like start making relationships with people that won't be there in the next month. And then you can ask them why they're not there in February. In February, think about your clients. It's like a wave effect. Your clients that are doing well at that time might be ready to be coaches because they have people watching them, or they have referrals for them, or the people that said, hey, I'm going to go try XYZ, or I'm going to do it my own way and fall flat on their face, or I'm going to go to the gym. They're like, oh man, it's not working. And Joe Schmo that I know mutually with my health coach is doing great. Boom. There's like you're continuing to plant seed. Referrals are off the hook. If you're layering coaching, that's probably their first clients. Like it adds up. And then all of it like really comes like crashing in March. So there's really no like up, down month, but I would say there's definitely a little bit of a additive if you work December, January, February, March well. Don, you're nodding intensively. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Kelly, you know. March is the month where it's like this. If you're doing it all well. It's the month where like your clients are starting to see visual results that started in the new year. You have great relationships, coaches that are probably seeing their results of that start and maybe sponsoring their team. Like clients that you have are starting to make such an impact on the people that are like the laggards, that are the holdouts, that are the naysayers, whatever. They can't argue with their results by then. And then flat out people are just waking up. They're like, oh my gosh, it's March and I didn't do anything. Like, where the heck have I been? So like you have this clashing of all these things happening if you're just staying consistent, doing the very simple steps at this time. Anyways, you guys get the picture. Like a lot of people don't know that's how the new year works. And that's why like Ashley and I never leave in March, because we're like actually we did one time and that's when we went presidential, proving you can grow your business from anywhere. But like, honestly, or no, it was February. Anyways, the point is like, this is a good time to be doing the normal steps. And that's what you can see. Like you don't realize that it's always coming in. And then also if you're just staying consistent, people that are watching you and you don't even realize they're watching you start coming in and all these other things. So like, I'm just throwing that all out there. Don, Kelly, you're on my screen right now, so I'm calling on you. Anything like that I'm missing with that explanation? Because you guys know what I'm talking about on that.
No, Brad, you nailed it as far as just where you're intentional on relationships now and getting out and really, being there for people. The ripple effect, it's literally what this slide shows is the compound effect of relationships and intentionality and just staying consistent with small things every day.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna have you guys speak in a second because I want to show some different ideas. Ashley, I know you're on. Did your internet work upstairs? Is there anything you want to add to this? You've been my partner on this the whole time.
Yeah, so the thing about, I'm talking quiet because Witten's sleeping. The thing about what you said with people that are watching in January and February is they're getting ticked off because spring break is March and April. So now they're livid and they're probably worse off than they were, and they're seeing your results of your new clients. And so now they have even more of a reason to get started, because March and April is when a lot of people are starting to put on shorts for the first time, or things are starting to get a little sweaty and sticky, and they're realizing that not only do they've got to do something by spring break, they've got to do something by summer. So they're feeling their own internal pressure. Because there is a good chance that they thought, well, I'm just going to do diet and exercise and keto and and nothing's happening and they're worse off.
100%. I totally forgot about that. That's why you're the genius on all these things. Not to mention right now, again, I'm going to go back to December. Don't write off anyone. Like everyone's going to be, we're talking in like what's going to happen in the new year. How many people are disgusted with where they're at right now and are fed up from Thanksgiving and the aftermath? Like
I know a lot of you guys are like, I am waiting to the new year because you're like, I'm not doing what I know I've done in the past. So anyways, like all good stuff. We'll get into some more of those in a little bit here.
Forgot the other part was Go Global is in April. So when you're talking about coaches, the other reason that things increase like crazy is because people want to qualify to get to Go Global in April. And so that's another reason that you see a huge increase.
Yep, exactly. All different things, and we'll take it on. We'll be training through this. Not to mention we'll have Coffee and Consistency in February. I'll get to that here in a second, but that's everything. So I'm going to go over some real quick things. I just want to show you guys. I showed a little bit on my live that I did the other day off the cup, is like understanding what's possible and realizing, like, understanding your investment of time and investing in others. So we all that was at the event, or just in general, we know that we get paid in 3 buckets. One is from our front line. So it's like, 30, I'm just going to talk to everyone at executive director level, because if you're on here, I hope you're at that level and higher, or going to that level and higher. Make 31% of your clients' orders. That's for supporting them in health. And then, like, especially, like, here's another good reason. You get a bonus every 3 months just for doing your job. And it's either $250, $500, or $1,000. Yeah, you might as well be executive director and making $1,000. There's no point in like wasting that other money. So that's one way we get paid. That's bucket one. Bucket two is supporting team as they're on their way to executive director. So below executive director, you make basically, a percentage of the difference of where they're at and where you're at as executive director. Like, I'm paraphrasing on all this, by the way. I'm not breaking it down. Like, I'm not going to get into super comp, but I want you to know the key features of that. So you make it's basically about 150 per coach that's actively you're working with as they're going to executive director. And then also another bonus of doing this is when you're helping 5 or more people on that means you're an FIBC, fully integrated business coach. So you get another $1,000 bonus every 3 months for having that. Like, the income starts to go like this if you're doing the steps and doing the 2 things we do well. Then bucket 3 is teams of executive directors and leadership bonuses. So 2.5% of your team, again, generically, of executive director teams going down, and then leadership bonuses for the multiple ones you get. So at national, you get a 0.5% bonus on your entire business for having 3 executive directors, another 0.5 for being global, another. So, like, do you guys see like the ramping effect? Like, in our business, what I love about it, you get paid quickly and easily. Like, I've never done any other company before, but they're always like, you get paid that much up front for what you do. And it's like, they're like amazed by it, which is so cool. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Like, people are laughing. I'm like trying to figure out what's going on here. Anyways, the point is you can make income very quickly, but also at the back end, like, if you're doing the work and the way the compensation, I'm not going to get into it today, but you can, like, it goes like this if you're doing the work on this stuff. I'm going to break down one here in a second, but like, that's why, like, Dawn, for instance, you started this coaching a long time ago. I feel like, would you say that I've earned every cent on your business that I earn each month?
Yes.
Okay. It was worth it. How many lives are you I mean, you probably haven't counted, but like, you've changed thousands of lives because of this.
Well, it's really cool. In the ticker, it says almost 7,000 lives.
Wow. Amazing. So that was a good investment. That's why, like, you don't know what you're starting, like, by this. It's like investing in your future and investing in more people. That's why it's worth it long-term in like investment like that. So these are the 3 ways that we get paid. So I want to just show you a few things real quick of like real things that happened this year. And again, I did this on the thing here. I just pulled some. I don't know who all these businesses are. I just pulled like 20 of them. I'm not going to go over all of them today, but like, look at someone right here. This is an integrated executive director. They're running pretty good volume around this time last year in December. They have a pretty good sized business, like, kind of a newbie FIBC business. Look at what they grew this last year. At this level, they're making like 4,000 to 5,000. It's pretty awesome. At the end of the year, and nothing spectacular. This person just did the systems and plugged in. They're making $8,000 to $9,000 a month. They went to almost 100,000 in group volume. Nothing amazing. Like, this person is not a rock star. They just nominal growth. 34, 34, 41, 48, 60, 75. Like, you see, like, it's nothing special. It's like staying consistent on what you're doing. Like, here's another example at a executive director person. Like, this person last year just continuing. If anyone is here right now, just running that like barely over 6, like, you're a new ED, you're pretty solid, but like, you haven't like gotten going. There's not much of a team going on here. I'm kind of remove my chat here.
this person's doing well. I mean, they're making, you know, close to $3,000, $3,500. And at this point, actually, I remember who this person is. This was one of their 3 jobs they had, and one of their highest paying ones that they had, and they were doing the least amount of time in. Look at this. Last year, they made a decision, and you can see it started creeping up here, and they started doing the steps, almost like, you know, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, 16, 15, 16, 18. And you can see their teams going up as well. So again, nothing like amazing that they did, just consistent wins and focusing on people. And in the year at Integrated Regional, you know, they're closer to like $7,000, $8,000 of income. So they more than doubled their business, and it's even more stable than it was before as well. They also got rid of some jobs. I think that's a good investment. Another example here, like this is another reason why. So actually, I remember who this example is too. I remember who it is. If you're not stoked about where your last few months, maybe you let life get to you, maybe you didn't stay consistent, you're here now. Congratulations. This is someone that was an executive director before, and this is where their December was. They totally just gone off the face of the earth. They barely even made senior coach in December of last year. They locked in and got focused back on their health. They work a full-time job, and look at this. They made like $100 in December of last year. Pretty good. They were doing nothing. So that's pretty awesome. Like making $100 for doing nothing. But look at this. Within the course of a year, almost 10,000 back up to frontline volume. So like proving that you're never done wherever you're at. Anything's possible anytime. Ended up at regional director. They're making more like $3,500 to $4,500 this year. Like solid investment and consistency. Like these are good examples here. And this is my last one that I'll do here. And this is the other reason why you sponsor in this month. Look, new coach right here. They're a client in November. They're just taking on Thanksgiving and losing weight. Health coach in December. And then look at this, going up there, getting up to like ED, and then bringing on some team members. So this year they ended up at Integrated Regional, take away from Integrated National, you know, get almost at that 10,000 frontline volume club. So this person went from making $60 their first month into making like $4,500 to $5,500. And I'll give you kind of a preview. People like that are, if you are one of the people where your business is at this right here, wait to see what happens. Like it'll be like that first example that I went through. So these are just to give you examples of like where to go. And I always think it's cool to do this because the only way to earn more income is to get better at helping people. There's no quick fix. There's no routes around the corner. Like there's no secrets. You just do more of it, get more efficient and do it. Like, so it's important. So I'm not going to go over all these other examples. I got other examples here, but I just wanted to give you guys one, like, cause you're like, okay, cool. I think that's cool that someone else did that in their business. But like, I know a lot of you guys here are newer executive directors. So I just want to give you guys like an example here to show you like what's possible. And I could have done a million different scenarios, but I don't want to take up time. I just want to show you what's possible, because when people catch that fire, that's when they change more lives. That's when they do more things that improve their lives. I know some of you guys are like ED by Blended Path. You guys are doing like 4,800. You guys are maybe close to 6,000 on and off. Maybe you have 2 or 3 coaches on your team. You're brand new at this. Maybe one of them senior coach. Like this is all well and good. Your income's going to be, it could even actually be a little higher than this. I like to do like under, like what's average. But your income's probably like $1,500 to $2,000 a month. You're not making $1,000 bonus like on your rolling consistency on your clients. You're, not even at the FIBC mark yet. You're not even getting fully paid like 31% on your frontline volume here. So I want to see what happens. Like anyone can do this, and all this is less than double the work. And I think by what I showed by their scenarios, can be easily done in the next like 6 months by someone giving nominal effort. Not even reaching the 10,000 mark, getting up there to like 9,000. Bringing on a few clients consistently, probably 5 or 6 a month. Having 8 coaches, 6 or more senior coaches, maybe helping 2 of them along that path to ED. Your income goes up to more like 4,500, 5,500, and maybe even upwards of that some months. Like, do you guys see like what's possible? I want all of you guys that are like, oh my gosh, I'm really close to scenario 1 right now. I'm maybe a tick below it, or maybe just a tick above it. You guys see like the rewards on focusing on this? You've already got the momentum here. This is easy to do in this new year by just focusing on people and getting these things set. So I digress, but I just want to show you guys what's possible. You guys, earning income in this business is a badge of honor. You can't earn more like without making a difference in people's lives. So I hope you guys get excited and brag about it. Like it's a good thing. Back to that whole thing and back to this whole thing. Like that's what we'll go into. Like if you're not there yet or you don't see it, like it gets easier as you practice it more, man. I remember like tearing my hair out at like just hitting 6,000 in frontline volume. Like, and now it's like, oh, I don't even like think about like running like 12 to 15, like with Ashley. So I'm just rambling here, but hopefully you guys, like, the chat seems to be blowing up. Dawn, did anyone have any questions that I didn't get to? I couldn't keep up with it.
I don't see any questions, Brad. They're just chiming in saying how amazing it is that we get to change lives and be so well compensated for it.
Is this is the unplugged call, you guys? Is this information helpful for you guys, like, to see this? Because when I understood this is like when it like added like gasoline to the fire of what we were already doing. So drop me a 1 in the chat if this is good information, if this is helping you. I see a yes, 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 one. Okay, lots of ones. Okay, go. Sometimes I just ramble. I don't know if I'm actually being helpful, and that's no point in me just rambling if it's not helpful. So let's see here. Last thing, these are the things to be really considering as we go into the new year. Oops, I went backwards. So December now, like right now, this is the time to be connecting with your clients. Find out what they want. My favorite question to ask is, where do you want to be January 31st? December 31st. What do you want to focus on? Like, make a plan with them throughout the holidays. That doesn't necessarily need to be 5 and 1. Plan wins with them. And you'll get to see, like, this is the time for you to get to learn where they're at in their health and where they are understanding their practice. More will be learned during this season than you ever learned by like doing 5 and 1 and losing a bunch of weight. So this is a powerful season for people. Layer coaching, like, guys, I can't even get into it right now. Like how, like, this is such an important season for that. And just staying consistent in relationships, connections, like people, do something extra for people. Like, just, this is the time for that right now. December 13th, just being aware, like, that follow-up, it takes follow-up and touches to like people to say yes. Most people are deciding what they're doing the new year. Like, please be consistent for other people's sake. Like right now, like, be consistent this time so that when they are making the decision over the next week or so, they're thinking about you. So December 20th, like, this is Ashley Miller, like 101. If you're going to be of service to people and they are saying they have a really important like date, they're saying, I want to start on January 1st, they have to order by December or they're not going to get their food till the 5th or 6th. And we don't want that if they said they want to start on the 1st. December 27th, another important-ish, by the way, like around this time. These are all important like touch dates that you can be serving people. It's a great time because people are like, oh my gosh, okay, I finally made it past Christmas. I'm like awake now. Like, I'm actually a real human again. Like, they can actually comprehend real life and adulting once again. And they're usually not happy about what happened if they have to start figuring out adulting. Like, the last few weeks probably wasn't good for them. Then New Year's, I mean, it's easy. Like, people are talking about health, working out, fitness, New Year's, like, it's New Year's resolution times. Who wants what we have? I know many people do. So like, guys, like, this is just important mindset stuff. A lot of people, without knowing this, just turn off for this time of year, but it's the time to turn on. Let's see here. Just to give you guys a heads up, we're going to just go, today we're just covering learning, staying in the game. Like, hopefully this has been some like good knowledge stuff for you. December 30th, after Christmas, like on Saturday morning, the same time, we're going to do a workshop of like getting your stuff in order and like, what does Ashley Miller do this time of year? Like an actual hands-on workshop to be like, what's in her brain? I mean, her brain is, she's not waiting until that time, but we're going to go over a workshop to help you guys get organized for those that want to take on January. We'll have another training around the 6th. More information to come. Elevate event on Saturday, January 13th. It's basically, for those that are new, it's like our like kickoff to the new year. Dr. Ray talks. It's basically like this big, like, call it Elevate. It's just like a time to basically kick off the new year officially as Optavia. We are going to hit sponsoring hard. Be thinking about who you want to partner with, because long story short, back to the healthy finances, our accountant said we made too much money last year. So we're going to invest in sponsoring at the start of this year. So just a heads up on that. And then at the end of January, we're going to start our next 6 weeks coffee and consistency, really focusing on bringing any of these new partners on, or where you're at, helping you take the next level of your business. That's what we got planned for the new year, so you can start planning ahead and so you can kind of start formulating it. So now that you have the layout, you have the mindset, you have the information, maybe maybe you're more excited about you were before you got on the call, maybe you're not. I don't know where you are. Maybe you're dead. I don't know. I'm going to turn it over to Kelly and Tim to share some stuff. Like, so Kelly, you guys have been through a bunch of New Year's. You guys have great team energy, and like, what's some of the things your team's doing right now and you are doing, like some tangible stuff? Like, I went over the layout. What are some things that you guys are doing right now that really make the big difference?
Well, we are definitely getting organized and leading with our health. And actually, I'm going to let Tim talk about some of this stuff because he's just a monster on this right now in front of our team and just helping people say, okay, what is it that we can lead with and how do we show up? And so I'll let Tim start and then I'll toss in a few little nuggets there.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Brad. That was a lot of great information. You know, and I do have a lot of passion about leading with my health. And so, you know, it really is. It's about getting clear on what you all want to do, you know, and if you've got some weight to lose, you know, dial in your nutrition, you know, focus on that, kind of show people that you can still move forward in your health, even in the holidays. You know, so many people want to hit the pause button and just kind of wait, you know, until after everything's done. But we got the goods and we can actually move people forward. So show them the way on that stuff. You know, and then if you're at a healthy weight, you know, up your fitness game, you know, and again, it's really about inspiring people, showing people what to do or how to do it, I should say. And, you know, and it really is, you know, like I said, it's leading the way and it's inviting people. And this is something I've really been dialing in lately. I stopped working out by myself. I work out with a group now, or I'll work out with a buddy or something. I'll walk with somebody. I'll run with somebody. I'm not doing this alone anymore. So that was my aha moment. It's all about being intentional. So every time I do something, I'm doing it with somebody else, and I'm talking to, you know, somebody about it, inviting people. And also, if you guys have some great activities, you know, like group activities, pop them in the chat so everybody can kind of see what y'all like to do. But that's just kind of a big thing is, you know, being intentional, create what you want to create with yourself and for other people. Invite a lot of people, you know, and then with that, you have to be organized. You know, you have to, you know, because people are going to want what you have. So they're going to want to join you. And so, you know, like I said, invite, you know, pre-clients, invite them to, you know, start their healthy journeys, you know, inactive clients, reach out to them and invite them back into the game, you know, find out what's important to them, what's still important to them, that type of stuff. And obviously your current clients, you know, those are the people that are doing the do. So, you know, re-link arms with them, kind of re-explore with them on what they want to create moving forward. So, you know, and that's really it. I don't want to take too much time. I know there's a lot of info and stuff yet to come, but it really is just get clear and be intentional. Intentionality is that's the word. That's my word for 2018.
Thanks, Tim. I'm going to jump in too because he does lead this so well, and I love it because he's gotten me in a fitness routine because I'm up in my game, and that, as everybody knows on my team, is my weak link. So we are leading with health, and I'm doing it in a group too. So a couple of things that we're also doing is, you know, we're going to be up in our frequency and raising the awareness and building our brand. I'm just going to share a quick slide here, but I want to address, if that's okay, Brad, share a quick slide here. But while I'm doing that, I want to definitely address a couple of things that were asked about. How do you go into these conversations with people you haven't seen, you know, in a while, and what does that look like? So one thing is, when you're going to these events where you see, you know, it's the one time a year you see some people who you've obviously changed. How do you interject what's happening? Because they're going to ask you, they may not, they may, you know, it may be kind of weird, but show up with a great lean and green, take buffalo chicken dip, right? You know, show up with things that you can point to saying, wow, this is so fun. This is one of the recipes my clients love at this time of year. Offer to ask how they are. Remember, the art of asking questions is so crucial in this time. It is about finding out what's going on with them. If you're seeing people that we all see, that once a year, you know, group of family or friends or holiday parties where you see spouses of people you know, ask about them. You know, I did a quick live on this yesterday. Intentional connection means listening and asking questions. This is where we get to show up in exactly the form that we want to be in, because we want to be interested in people. Don't forget that. Be interested in people. These are some quick things I came up with. You know, in our team, we are up in our frequency by, you know, we got the 3, 3, and 3, but do 5, 5, and 5 and more. This is a time to keep building. As you heard, you know, Brad, you were so great at all the tips of how to really let people know we're going to be the ones leading health. We're going to be the ones there in March, that kind of thing. But let this time be where you're creating your brand and they know who to go to for help. Live inviting, invite people into your holiday lifestyle. Have fun, get out, be a present, celebrate being present. You can read these on here. But be with the people you're with. Don't get too lost in social media. It's a great tool, sharing tips on your personal wall, because we are available to everyone. So don't just keep it in your clients. Don't just keep it in your client support. Share some great holiday tips. Be the coach to somebody who's looking already, so that they know that you're going to be there for them when it gets a little bit wobbly in the holiday season and onto January, February, March. Be proud of the fuelings and the makeovers and the hacks that we got. This is a fun time to share some of that. Share your lean and greens, but be positive. The best thing of all that I believe is to be positive in your presence, be present where you are, and really invite people to be in a positive, healthy-minded atmosphere where you can lead them into what they're looking for. And get out. Social media is great. Show up on social media, but be out in showing up on social media. And those are just some of the things we're working on in our team. One last thing. I kind of skipped it, and it's an important one, is to celebrate the scale and non-scale victories that are happening for the people that you're already partnering with and for yourself. Those are intriguing. It means, oh my gosh, it's December and I'm celebrating the client is wearing a smaller size and shopping for a great New Year's Eve activity. That's cool. That's really cool. So those are some things that we're doing in our team. Just don't be afraid to get out, to share, and to just be the positive force in this world. It's an interesting time for people, and we want to always show up as people who are going to listen, invite, and be positive.
I love it, Kelly. As always, Kelly's in the can. Kelly, that's the saying. Kelly's in the can because she always has a can-do attitude. I love the tips. So good. Kelly, thank you for all of those. I took a screenshot, so we'll add those up later. So I think this gives a really good insight to things you can be doing now, because people are going to be thinking about you, all the different ways you can show up. As we wrap up here today, Ashley, I don't know if you attended the kids. Do you have any more? Because I don't know if you guys know, but all the good ideas I have actually come from Ashley. So a little secret there. Ashley, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. What else do you got? You've seen a few of these New Year's and you're a genius. So what else do you got?
Oh, you're so funny. Well, everything Tim and Kelly just said, sorry if you're hearing all kinds of noises. There's a newborn right here, and there's another one right here.
Why did we get in that whistle? Why did
everything, I don't know. So Tim and Kelly said, that's funny, because as I'm looking at my list, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I would do. This is what I would do. So, yeah, there you go. So, okay. So for me, my mindset right now is very coach candidate focused. So for me right now is the time to start coaches. If you've got people who've been sitting there playing with the idea of coaching, I'm very, very clear that with them that if we why would we start your training in the hottest time of the year? Let's start your training now. Let's take the time to develop the skills to become senior coach or above, but definitely to senior coach now, because you want to be totally prepared and get through those, weird spots that can feel weird. They're not weird, but they feel weird in the beginning. Why do it when everything is going nuts later? So in January when everyone wants to start. So my focus is to start coaches right now and get them up and going and help them get their skill sets going. So everything's clean and ready for January 1st. Let's see here. And then helping coaches on our team re-engage that maybe weren't engaged, and now they're realizing that 2018 is going to be the year that they really want to be engaged. And so let's iron things out now and almost do a reset. Let's reset and work together. Maybe they didn't plug in. Maybe they didn't work with you. Maybe they didn't integrate. Maybe they weren't on these calls, whatever it is. Start now so that, again, it's ironed out before January. And then let me see here, helping my coaches start helping my team, so my coaches start. I don't know if you can hear all this. Well, we'll get there later. I'm helping my team start their coaches. So they don't know, a lot of our team might not know or might need a refresher on how to get acquire, approach, and help their new people get to senior coach. So that's another part of if I have my time segmented, this is the priority list. One thing that Brad and I have been talking about is we spent so much time developing relationships that we were so in that groove. We needed to stop and realize we have got to go approach now. We did the investment. It's time to turn on the approach. So now we are offering coaching on a very, 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 very regular basis because we realize we've already developed the credibility. So if you're sitting here thinking that's speaking to you, there's probably a reason. So take that into consideration. I'm calling, posting on social media, and emailing past clients, current clients, future clients. Like Brad said, we've got to get our orders in by, say, the 15th because UPS, FedEx, everything is slammed. The weather is going to go crazy, and your food and your program is probably not going to get to you if we wait any longer. So if you want to start and be ready January 1st, versus if you don't, then you may be looking at getting your food the 5th or the 7th, which I'm not oh my gosh, you got to order. I'm it's my job to give you the information. It's your job to make your own decision. So, but you can't make a choice if you don't have an educated information. So that's where I put myself. That's my job. And then let's see here. Intentional socializing, exactly what Tim and Kelly just said. Tonight we have the perfect example of how I think social media, the best way to use it. To me, social media goes like this. Real life relationship goes to social media goes to real life relationship. So tonight we're going to a ugly Christmas sweater party. So it's going to this family's house. My best friend since I was 5, I met her cousin at a baby shower 5 years ago. I friend requested her on social media 5 years ago. We've just kind of followed each other. We kind of have a similar vibe, but we've never seen each other again in real life. When we had our first boys, we always talked about connecting. Hang on a second, baby. Let's do that. We had our first boys, and we've played tag to connect, and it, kids get sick and things get canceled, whatever. So that's kind of been going on and on. So we've been trying to connect, right? But she just invited us to her ugly Christmas sweater party. So we're going to move mountains to get to this party and get into real life with this person. That's the difference with social media. I think that a lot of people don't quite get that, but if you want to know how I think millennials are going to be using this, if you want to know who came up with this stuff, and how it's best being used, and so you're it can feel like a foreign language, that's how it is. It's we meet each other in real life, we friend request each other on social media, and then we get back together in real life. So yeah, and then I would say another important thing is that you're showing that your lifestyle is a joy, because I see so many people go into situations where you want water? Okay, we'll get it. So they go into situations where it's when the spotlight gets put on them for the lifestyle choices they're making, they freeze up and get weird about it, and they make it kind of I know, it's just this thing. I mean, versus projecting it you don't need to sell it oh my gosh, it's so great. Just do it and let the results speak for themselves. So just don't make a big deal out of it. And I'm talking about when you go to these parties and you're making healthy choices, let what you're doing speak. You don't have to make this big ordeal, or let the changes in your energy speak. because you also don't want it to be awkward for other people to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to hide my food and I have to hide my alcohol and da 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 da. Like, make it like where you're the calm and the peace and the joy, and that's what attracts people to you. And that I think that's enough. There you go.
You're amazing, Ash. You guys see how lucky I am? Like, all right, Don, you have 2 minutes to throw down just some of your last tips on any cleanup on anything here. The tips have been good. I think we like to have kind of transferred what took us a long time to learn. Last things as we wrap up here.
I love it. So I'm just gonna literally wrap up around what Tim, Kelly, Ashley, and Brad, what you shared as well. I'll share my screen here for a second. You guys can see this. Let me get it big. Maybe. Oh, I love it when it does that. Like I don't know how to, hang on, let me get it all in here. There we go. All right, I love all of the tips that you guys have shared. Ashley, seriously, mic drop. That was amazing. Love that you show up in joy and authenticity and on point, even when little kiddos around, like blowing train whistles in your ears and stuff. You guys, I mean, I hope everybody kind of notices that. Like, that's how to just show up. Like, own your zone, be you. Whatever's going on around, embrace it. It's joyous, and just let that speak. So, as we kind of wrap up and we head into the rest of December, I just wanted to highlight a few things. You know, it's the season to connect. I'm sure we heard Brad, this is a season to kind of slow down, take a breath, be intentional with our relationships. We heard Tim and Kelly talk about getting organized. And also, what's your brand? How are you showing up right now? I added this little graphic in the upper right hand corner. I hope you guys can see it, but it's about our brand, but it's really, who are you? How are you showing up? Who needs to know? Who out there is looking for this? And like Brad shared, right now, about the 13th to 14th of the month, a lot of people are looking. A lot of people are deciding what they're going to do in January. And the question is, do they know to look to you? Is it beyond obvious that you can help someone with their health, with their lifestyle? Are you leading that way? I put the little snowman on here with, like, you know, the magnifying glass, because do people have to search and look? Or is it just obvious with how you show up, and how will they find you? And also, are you living in such a way that they would care, that they would be attracted that way? So just being intentional in all areas. Tim, I loved that you talked about being intentional with your health, taking my health to a whole new level. You guys talk about energy and being intentional. Get into fat burn, or just get on focus, and it brings a lot of energy. You can't hide that kind of excitement and that kind of energy in your own health. It just kind of radiates around you. Being organized, using your map, connecting with your clients on their December game plan. Brad, amazing. Where do you want to be January 1st? What's your game plan for the next 3 weeks? What one thing are you focusing on that when you wake up January 1st, you're going to be proud of yourself for having accomplished? And just connect with your clients. Brad and I were chatting the other day. A lot of his client support looks like laughing, emojis, just having fun, because he's connected with them. They've got a game plan for December. And now it can be really more around, who's coming with ya? This is fun. Let's finish the year off being reflective and taking into account how far we've come, but also, what do we want to do in 2018? Dreaming about that and setting a game plan in action. Staying consistent with your schedule. Kelly, I love your 3, 3, and 3, or 5, 5, and 5, or more. Just be consistent. December is a time when, I mean, Brad, this is my 8th holiday season as a coach. And there were a few seasons where the holidays kind of took over and the busyness took over, and I wasn't as consistent. It's a lot harder to jump back on a stopped train than one that continues to roll along. Like, just keep things consistent, keep things going, have fun, bringing value and living out loud, sharing lots of celebrations with clients right now, their non-scale victories. I'm doing 30 days of transformation on my personal health, or my personal Facebook, just sharing client stories. Have had a lot of people reach out just because maybe one of those stories resonated with them. Bringing value. Kelly, you talked about just the recipe hacks and holiday, like how to navigate holiday parties, how to have fun, things like that. Following up and being intentional with that. Ashley, you hit something super huge with just being intentional. We're heading into the biggest season. We're heading into a time when a lot of people are looking to get healthy, and who's coming with us when we're talking to our clients, who's coming with them. And of course, I'm approaching coaching and paying that forward with them. $500 can make a huge difference in someone's life, a huge difference. It can be an incredible shift. And are we approaching it like that? Are we approaching it as a gift and asking them, is that something that they would love to help do, to help their friends? Are they open to exploring it? Are they open to just checking out a video that shows them like the heartbeat and the mission of who we are and what we do as a community? I haven't had anyone say no to that. And then, so planting those seeds, but Ashley, you nailed it. Really, really being focused on, if someone has been talking about coaching, if they've got people in their world noticing, our job is just to let them know now. Those people are going to be ready soon. Let's get started. Let's get the skill sets. Let's share with them and help them get ready to go, before the first of the year. So I love that. Brad, that's kind of really it in a nutshell. I just kind of wanted to tie a little bow around it. And I am excited.
I love it because it's just reconfirming all the things we know that work that we covered here. So I love the tips. Ashley, Dawn, Tim, Kelly, everyone that dropped some really good knowledge in the chat. Lindsay, everyone across the board. You guys, congratulations. 100 plus people tuning in on a Saturday of December. This is not like what we've used to, and it just shows what we're building. So that's what we got for you. Stay consistent, focus on others. Let your energy and your connections be the noise. Let's stay consistent this time of year. I think we've shown you what to do. Do that. We'll connect back after the holidays for our workshop on how to take this on, but really, your new year is going to be built right now. So have a great day, everyone. Focus on your health, focus on others, focus on connections, and just show up. Have a good day, everybody. It's going to be a great year. Later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.